dance for joy or lust or anger, and every time you haven't got it right, you're one of us.
So welcome to Sensible Secondhand Reviews, Accidental Overspend edition, and this 2017 BMW 420i M Sport manual. I thought that actually these days you'd be able to get one of these for under £5,000, but you can't, so never mind. But anyway, is it any good? Should you care? Let's find out, shall we? So the BMW 4 Series first generation came out in 2013. It lasted till 2020. It was based on the contemporary BMW 3 Series, which is not really a surprise considering all the Coupe 3 Series had just been part of that range before, and BMW, for reasons best known to themselves, decided to separate out certain models into a different numbering system. So the basic one in the range is this one. It's a 181 brake horsepower 2-litre engine. With the pre-facelift models that lasted until 2016, it was called the N20 engine. This, however, has the later engine. It's the B48. It produces exactly the same power. Before the facelift, there was another 2-litre engine, also the N20, but that actually was the 428i, which is very confusing. 241 horsepower. When the facelift came, they actually changed that to the 430, although it also used the B48 4-cylinder engine, and that generated 248 horsepower. The more exciting ones have 6 cylinders. First of all, we're looking at the 435i before the facelift that had 301 horsepower. Afterwards, the 440i, which had 321 horsepower. And then we get onto the really crazy stuff, all the M4 versions, and there are 4 different power outputs for them. Standard one, the 3-litre F32 engine, twin turbo, that generated 425 horsepower. The M4 Competition, or the M4M Heritage, is 444 horsepower. Then we get to the M4 CS with 453 horsepower, and the craziest one of all, the GTS, or Champion Edition, which has 493 horsepower. Both the 435i and the 440i actually came with a 3-litre straight-six engine, but the different straight-six engine, either the N55 or the B58. There are also some diesels available, but as usual, due to controversial government legislation and all kinds of other reasons, we don't talk about diesels on this channel. Right. Apologies for the wind noise, viewers. I'm afraid you know it goes on this channel. So, I think this facelift 420 does look quite nice. Not always a fan of kind of flat red. A lot of these are white or things like that, but yeah, I think it looks okay with these relatively large wheels on it, which are 18 inches on this car. I think overall the design is pretty stylish. It's obviously very similar to the 3 Series at the time, on which it's heavily based. Weirdly, this car does not have a reversing camera, despite having had a list price in 2017 of around £38,000. We do have some parking sensors though, and you're going to need them in a car like this. The rear window is actually quite big, but I still don't find this the easiest car to manoeuvre. That's quite good though. The boot is pretty big. I think it's over 400 litres, which is a little coupe, is good. Although I don't see any sign of an actual spare tyre, but no sort of surprise there on a modern car. Was that a power socket in there? Oh no, that's the terminal for the battery, isn't it? BMW always put the batteries in really weird places. You can fold the seats, as you can see, just here. Ooh, Car FZ Verbandtasche. Always happy to use my German degree when the opportunity arises, viewers. Even on this least powerful engine, which is the 420, although it's been debadged, we've got twin exhausts. That's good. Right, one thing I'm not looking forward to, and Mr. Manning from the Matty's Cars channel requires that I do this, is getting into the back. Let's see if this is a pain or if it isn't, but I've just realised that if I want the seat to go fully forward, I've got to use these controls here. Right, okay, let's see what it is. Oh, it's not too bad actually. Only a 4-seater. That's alright, but now I've just realised if I want to put the seat back in exactly the same position, I'm going to pull this first. Oh, it's a faff doing that one-handed, and I'm not actually in the same position that I was when I was driving after. I'm going to use these controls to get back. Headroom's actually very tight. It's very tight indeed. It's not good. So if I was in my driving position, and I'm not very tall, I'm only 5'11", that would have not much knee room and no headroom. Not good. Never mind. A bit shorter probably won't be a problem for you. Ooh. Why do the cup holders feel so nasty and cheap? That's not very good. The rest of it's fine, it's just that. We've got a ski hatch here, viewers. I've read a rumour that you get a ski hatch in, and maybe this car doesn't have it, because that is not actually a button, maybe it's an option. But we've got a tray here for stuff. Is that actually a 12-volt socket? Oh, that's good. Oh, we've got some vents that you can actually control things on, but there's no pockets of any kind on the side of here. What on earth does that do? Is it nothing? Weird. Oh, there's no actual kind of thing for adjusting the height of the seatbelt either. I suppose this is automatic. What is nice though, we do actually have, despite the cramped sort of thing in here, we've got some buttons for the lighting. I'm sure that would work if the car's actually on. This is a really rare spec. It's a manual. There's not many 4 Series manuals out there. This is one of them, and I suppose it's fine. What does that do? Does that adjust the angle of a headrest or something? Probably it does. Right, I'm gonna have to free my self-imposed prison and actually get in the front. That might be a good idea. Okay, viewers, that was better. Let's just put that back a bit. There we go. Right. Oh no, another problem. Not one-touch indicators. Ah! I hate one-touch indicators, viewers. They're not good. And also, what's going on with my camera? Hello. Okay, I sort of solved it. One-touch wiper stalks, although you've got automatic lights and wipers in this car, so you might not need to worry too much about that one. There we go, there's the switch for it. Front and rear fog lamps. Ooh, a nice big iDrive system. Not touchscreen, iDrive. So, unfortunately, this says that been doing 23.6 miles per gallon. That's not very good, is it, viewers? Maybe on a longer journey that will be better. Oh, that's better. Why are the cup holders so nice in the front like this? I mean, that's nice, but this horrible in the back. It's a mystery. Right, so there's the iDrive selector. We won't spend too long fiddling with that. We'll have a little bit going there. We'll just turn that on. Actually, not off and on again. There we go. Hello. Ooh, dual zone climate control with proper physical buttons. Multi-stage heated seats. CD player. Very good. Right, let's go menu. And then we can use this wheel here to go through various things. Navigation. I'm just going to pause a second just to make sure there's no sort of addresses that you can see if I actually select that. Okay, so I did that because there was a potentially address which might give something away, so I've looked at that, but there we go. There's various things you can look at. I'm sure many of you have seen an iDrive system before. I'm going to go back to the main menu, and we can have a look at my vehicle. What kind of stuff is in here? Oh, driver profiles and iDrive settings and technology in action. What's that? Oh, efficient dynamics, driving style analysis, sport displays. There are actually different driving modes in here. I think they actually, with a car fitted with the adaptive dampener, I think this car has, that will make a difference. We only seem to have normal, sport and eco pro. We'll have a look at that in a moment. I wonder if, actually, if I select this and go back to the main menu, if I select that, does that do anything if I press this button? Oh, it does. So here we go. Well, I'll look at it over here. So so if we go there, we can have Sport Plus, Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro. Eco Pro is probably the one that I would have it in. If you go over here, we actually configure the Eco Pro mode. There we go. You've got climate control things. I just quit on me. This is supposed to be really easy to use, and sometimes I don't think it is. Let's have a look at this thing. Because we've got an Eco Pro, you can see it says charge and power. So a bit like the old S205 Mercedes-Benz that my mother used to have. If you're in the Eco mode, or in this case Eco Pro mode, it actually will show you if you're sort of recuperating energy, if you're going down a hill or something, and how much power you're using. But we want a bit more normal, so normal is just sort of like that, shows you the miles per gallon. Sport, actually similar, and Sport Plus is dynamic traction control activated. So I'm sure in this rear-wheel drive car we could get the back end out viewers. That would be amusing, but maybe won't do that today because this is a sensible channel. Got electrochromatic rear view mirror, if that thing focuses properly, and thank goodness a normal handbrake and a normal 6-speed manual. Some of you will be very excited about those things now. Up in here we've got a wireless charging pad. Early models of this is a facelift car, actually had an old connector for like an old Nokia or something, which is a bit rubbish. Oh, it's just gone on there, haven't done anything. I could try my secret mission documents in here. Actually, why don't I do that? See if they go in, because that's what we do on this channel. The answer's no. Disappointing. Never mind, just put that in there for now. The interior does feel quite nice. I mean, we've got some very, very high quality plastics, and then probably that actually feels like it's real aluminium. It might not be, but it feels like it is. So that's good. Even the bits down here are squishy and nice. Just obviously 2 electric windows in there. I've got the sunroof blind open because this is a black interior, so it's a little bit easier when we drive around if it doesn't look too dark. Okay, well that wasn't actually too bad. Sometimes in these cars with these you know, big infotainment systems, it can be a bit of a problem, but this one seems okay in terms of what we're talking about. Right, let us open up the bonnet. I don't know what twin power turbo means, because the S55 engine that came in the M4 version was actually a twin turbo. So who knows, I'm not really sure what that means, but because this is only a 4-cylinder engine, you can see it doesn't extend as far as it probably would do if this was the 6-cylinder that a lot of these 4 Series cars came with. Generates around 181 horsepower. It's called, as far as I remember, the B48 engine this one is, I think. I will double check actually a bit later on, but do that. The earlier versions of this car before the 2016 facelift had, I think, the N20 engine, but they generated the same horsepower. Yeah, once you remove this cover, it's probably a bit easier to work on the engine and that one. There's not really a lot to see because the battery doesn't live in here anyway. It's somewhere else, like all BMWs are these days. I think it looks good. I think this is a good-looking car. Actually, and probably this 420 would be all the one that I would need. It's got plenty of power for everyday needs, and frameless doors as well. Right, let us go out for another spin, shall we? So to drive, this is is actually quite a pleasant car. It's not as firm as I actually expected. I mean, we're in this comfort mode. If you put it into eco, I can actually feel that the suspension's changed in this. It does have adaptive suspension in this particular sort of M Sport trim, which is, I think, the most popular one. I think I'd go for the luxury if it were me, but yeah. So it feels sort of fine. Even if we put it onto the sport mode, there we go. It's not as sort of harsh as I expected it to be. Steering has firmed up though, and I like a good sort of bit of steering feel, if it's possible, although this one electric steering, so it's artificial, but it feels quite good. Let's try Sport Plus and see what happens there. Sport Plus, it has some kind of special traction control. Put it into the Sport Plus. She doesn't even want to do. Oh, there we go. Dynamic traction control activated. Yes. That's not really how I drive these most of the time, I assure you. Yeah, it's noticeably firmer now. The steering's much heavier. Now, this car will do 0 to 60 in about 7.3 seconds. Which it's a base model, the base engine. That's pretty good. Obviously, we still have control of the gearbox because this is a manual, although most of these will be automatic. I think by this facelift, the only car with a petrol engine that was available in manual was this 420. It's fine. I just think actually the BMW 8-speed automatic gearbox, which most of these would have come with, is probably a better choice for most people. The gearbox is okay, but I just think actually that is a really good unit. It's quite good actually in this sort of combination, because if you had the automatic version in Sport Plus, it'd be revving its head off all the time, whereas this I can actually control how that works, and so that's a good thing. You've got stiffer suspension and actually much kind of sharper steering, and on these sort of country roads of Worcestershire it's doing really well. This car is owned by Richard and his lady wife. She normally drives this one, and I can understand why she actually quite likes it. Right, I will have to edit that out. Put that back. So we're going to go back into Eco Pro mode, which is what I would probably drive in most of the time. Yeah, the steering has massively lightened itself. If you want the best fuel economy, of course, you're going to want it in the Eco Pro mode. Drive position is a bit unusual in this car. It is quite offset to the right in the manual model. The automatic one's not as bad as that. It's not as bad as, like, I don't know, a Jaguar E-Type or something like that. That is really offset and tiny pedal blocks. But back in this Eco Pro mode, it feels sort of very docile, and the suspension's nice and compliant. It's not as engaging to drive, and I would definitely recommend you go for a model with adaptive suspension if you can, because I gather that actually the ones that don't have it are worse than this. But yeah, it's fine. It's still got a little firm edge to the ride, even in the Eco Pro mode. But then it's a BMW, and that's exactly what you expect when you buy one of these cars. You expect a bit more engagement than an Audi A5 or a Mercedes-Benz C-Class Coupe at the time. I quite like it actually. Let's now look at some trim levels for the F32 BMW 4 Series. The M Sport seems to be the most popular one, but there were also others. Further down the range were SE and Sport. I'd probably go for an SE or a Sport if it were me. Then there were special ones like the Luxury, which sounds nice, and the modern one. If you're looking at the M4, there's actually quite a lot of different M4 trim levels, and actually there's 4 different power outputs to the M4 as well. So you have the M4, the M4 CS, the M4 Champion Edition, the M4 Competition, the M4 GTS, and the M4 Heritage Edition. which is yeah, a lot. So viewers, should you consider one of these F32s or F33s or F36s with your enlarged budget of over £5,000 as a sensible car? They're very complex, these cars. There seems to be a lot sort of going on, so I don't know whether the reliability, considering these came out in 2013, is standing up. I'm not sure. This one seems fine, but yeah, I'm just a bit wary of stuff like that. But you know, literally your mileage may vary. So thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again soon for more, hopefully, reasonably priced motoring.
Every day with blue skies.